Hello, and welcome to Michell Consulting's webinar series for our Michell University. Today we're going to be working with Infor FACTS, and we're going to be reviewing the order confirmation process. For the purpose of the demo today, we're working with FACTS 7.7, and we'll be using this for our demo. So what is order confirmation? This is a way of allowing us to take existing sales orders and actually bring them to the next level or convert them into invoicing. So from FACTS in our main menu, we'll go to sales orders. And we know from previous webinars that here we can actually create an order. When we do create orders in FACTS, what it does, it basically commits the inventory and allows us to enter information. So we're committing inventory. We're not really affecting any of the historical data. We're not affecting any of the general ledger and so on. We're just actually placing the order. This order is then placed, and depending on our process, it's actually pulled into the warehouse, it's picked in the warehouse, and then the orders are shipped. Eventually, at one point, we need to now take that order and actually create the invoicing. So we can do that with order confirmation. So here we're going to go in, and from our sales order process, we're going to go into invoicing. And we can see our first one here is order confirmation. We can also do a direct invoice entry here if we wanted to. So for example, if we did not have the order, we can actually do a direct invoice into the system. Here what we can do is we can go into our order confirmation and we can pull up the existing orders and then actually create the invoice. So we're going to click order confirmation, and we're going to go in here, and this allows us to actually go ahead and search by customer or by order, and we can actually bring up the information. Let's make the screen a little bit bigger so we can take a look at this. So what we're going to do is, if we know the document, we can enter the document. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click OK, and we're going to do a document search. And we know from working with previous webinars, and by the way, this webinar is being recorded. It's available on our website, so you can visit us at www.michellgroup.com to view this plus our other training. Like, for example, we have a training video on how to organize the navigation of the document search. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up an order that I entered. And for purpose of the demo today, I'm actually going to be using this one. I have my demo set for January 1st, 2012. So here's an order. Here's an open order, order 1926. We're going to go ahead and we're going to select this order. And what's going to happen is this order is going to come up. And the first thing it's going to ask us is how do we want to bring this order in? So remember we talked about in the sales order process, when we enter orders, these orders are committed. What that means is, for example, if we have 10 in the warehouse and we order 8, since we have enough in stock, we're going to go ahead and commit that 8. So now we still have 10 on hand in the warehouse, and we have an order for 8. So we have 8. So our available is 2 because those are committed to another order. So when I go in to enter the next order, it'll show me that I have 10 in stock, I have 8 committed, and I have 2 available. So again, if I go and I try to enter 3, what it's going to do, it's going to try to ship the 2 that are left over, and it's going to back order the other one. So again, this is all set up in the sales process, and you can see we have a webinar in detail on the sales. But what this allows me to do is a couple things. I can, by defaulting to yes, assume shipment of all committed quantities. What it's going to do is just going to ship everything. Okay. Again, this is a setup that we can have. We can set up our inventory. We can allow it to go negative, or maybe when that sales order was entered, we didn't have enough stock in hand, but we received POs and so on. So we can assume shipment of all the committed quantities, which is just a way of bringing everything in available for shipping. We can do the opposite, do not assume shipment. So we can just back order everything. So depending, again, on the nature of your business, if you have an order, let's say, with 50 line items, and you're going to most likely ship 48 and back order 2, you'd be better off assuming shipment of all quantities, bring everything in, and go to the 2 line items and back order those. Or in the other case, is you have 50 line items and you're going to back order 48 and only ship 2, then you would assume, do not assume shipment, back order everything, and then switch the other 2. But again, it's depending on how you want to do it. It's up to you. Most people, what they do is they assume shipment of everything because they typically have it in stock. The other option you can do here is to not assume shipment, leave all lines committed. All right, you can do it that way. And finally, what you can do is you convert shipment line by line. So we'll do a couple examples of these. Let's just go into the normal default. We're going to assume shipment. We're going to go ahead and click OK. So what it's going to do now, it's going to assume shipment. And here, if you notice, because we don't have enough stock on hand, it's going to prompt us if we want to create a suggested PO. We can actually create a suggested PO, a suggested transfer, or in this case, we're not going to create anything. We're going to click OK, and it's going to bring our second line in. And again, you can see our second line here. Again, we're going to say no. And we have our third line. We're just going to say no to all these, okay, because we don't want to ship it here. So you can see here on this last line, we ordered 110, and we're going to ship this. So we can see what's happening with our back orders. Again, we can control this because we just let it go in the way it is. We can highlight the line. We can double-click on this line, okay, and now we're actually in the line. So these are our notes. Again, these are the prompts we have set up, so we have some general information about this item on a note. And the reason why we have that is we have this set up for our pricing and availability in our setup. So let's look here. So again, we can see we ordered 1. Our available is -7. We talked about that because we have 0 on hand and we have 7 committed. We have some stuff on order, but it's not in yet. So what we can do here is by default, we can go ahead and ship this. Again, we're going to override it. We're looking at our costs and our price of $425. The reason why this is coming up is because we have a contract price with this. And just let me know order. The available is less than the order, accept anyway. We're going to go ahead. And again, I'm just doing that because I have my system set up to allow me to overcommit or go negative. So now you can see that I have this item here from the warehouse, and I ordered 1, and I'm shipping 1. We can do the same with line 2. Again, we can double-click on the line, or we can use our edit button here. We can also see those windows are popping up because we have here in our view the customer display, the price options, and the quantities. We can deselect these if we want. Let's just leave the price, the warehouse one, on. So here we're going to highlight the line. We're going to click our edit, or we're just going to go ahead and double click. So you're going to go in, and again, you can see we left just our quantities on. So we want to see what's going on. So we're going to do the same thing. We ordered 1. We're just going to go ahead and ship the 1. We're going to override. And again, I turned off my view for the pricing. You notice that you don't see the price pop up here. Again, because I can control that within here. The only thing I have set to display is the warehouse quantity display. Okay, this one here is serialized. You want to continue. Okay, so we're going to go here. We can't save the line items. So we're just going to go ahead, since we're dealing with serial. Let's just let's make this a 0, and let's just back order it. We'll deal with that one because that one has a serialized item. So we're going to look up our serials now. So again, because we're back ordering, we're prompting this message here. We're just going to go ahead and we're just going to say no. We don't want to create a suggested PO, and then we're just going to leave our last line the way it is. So we're going through this. Again, we can at any time stop the confirmation here if we want. All right, this allows us to roll everything back. We can go to our header information. Again, we can look at the header information here. As we know from working with the other sales orders and other documents in FACTS, we can look at all our codes. So again, just more information about the customer, the defaults. We may want to change the invoice dates and so on. Just click Done. Okay. And here we're at our total. Again, we're about to get to our total. So again, we can see here from our total record that we have some options here that we can actually enter in the invoice. We can enter the dollar amounts for deposits, or in this case, since we're doing an invoice, we can pay it. We can look at our AR terms. This is an AR term of 2% net 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this go to our register and just post this to our AR. You can see that there is a deposit on this order. During the sales order process, we took a deposit. So we have the taxable amount, the deposit amount. So you can see the subtotals, the discount. Again, if we pay with our discount within the 10 days, we have freight that we've entered on this. Again, this is all done during the sales process. We're just going to click OK. We're not going to actually enter payments right now, but we can enter a payment. So we're just going to go ahead and click OK. We have the option of printing the invoicing now. Let's not do that. And let's just print OK. Okay. This you see right here is the interface to our relationship management. There's a separate module, and we actually have webinar series on the relationship management. Relationship management is very nice functionality in the FACTS software. It's kind of a CRM 360. It allows me to have a screen where I can see everything about a customer, about a contact, and so on. So what the system's doing by default, in the notes, you can see the RM, the relationship management. It's going to create a note related to this order, this sales order generation. We can skip the note if we want, but it's nice to actually have the note, because what's going to happen is it's going to update our notes files in the relationship management. So when I'm dealing with this customer or anything about it, I can go in and I can look at the notes and I can see that there was a sales order generated and that we're going to go ahead and create an invoice. So it's good to keep that. We're just going to say done, and that's it. So now we've created our order, so we actually have an order. So let's go back for a moment. And let's go in and let's follow the process. Let's do a sales order. We'll kind of go through the process again, the order that we're going to create. So we can actually change some of the items and do some information. So we're going to go to order entry. So here we're going to go in, and again, we're going to put in our customer. So you know, we can do our document search and so on. We're just going to call up C100. Again, we just exceeded our limit. We're just going to go ahead and do that. So here we've got an order. We're going to just go in and we're going to, so let's do a search. And let's pick some items here. Let's go in and pick this item. Okay, I want to get some stuff with some quantities. You can see we have 106 we have available there, so we're going to order 10 of these, and we're going to let it commit. Again, we're committing because we have enough we have 98 available. Let's put in our I-100. Okay, this one we have not in 0 available, so I'm going to go ahead and also do 10 of these. And it's just going to let me go through. And I'm going to back order these. I'm not going to commit these. And again, we have that option with the suggested PO. We're not going to create it this time. And let's see, we'll do one more. So we'll do here we're going to go ahead, and this one we have a lot. This one here we're going to go put 20, and let's commit 15, and just back order 5. And again, since we're in that back order mode, we're not going to create any of this. So we're going to be using this one here. So we're going to see we have document now 1927. So you can see here, if you look at these items, this one here we ordered 10 and we committed all 10, so we back ordered 0. This is the opposite. We ordered 10, committed 0, and back ordered the 10, and this one we did 20, we did 15 and 5. So we're going to say done. And again, we're just going to click OK. And again, here's where we could, if we wanted to, on that other order, we could enter freight information here and dollars amount as well as taking deposits. We're just going to go ahead and leave that off. This document was put on hold. We don't have enough in stock, so we'll have to go in and we'll have to remove the document information. So let's go here. Again, we went over his credit limit, so we're just going to go ahead in this case. We're going to look at all the documents that are on hold. We're just going to grab 1927, and we're going to release this from hold. Okay. And say yes. And we go done. So now if we go back in, we can see if we look at all the documents on hold, we no longer see 1927. We're just going to take it off hold here. Because if it's on hold, we're not able to do the order confirmation. So we just want to release it. So now let's go back into invoicing and let's go to order confirmation. And here again, we can search and put in 001927. And again, order's not printed, but we're going to confirm it anyway. And again, here we have that option. So here what we can do is, in this case, we're going to go and confirm line by line. So you can see what it's doing here. It allows us to take a look. It says, okay, this first line item, we have 10 of these, and we ordered it. And it asks me, do you want to ship the committed quantity? Again, we have some options. Again, we can ship the committed quantity, right, because we want to ship it all here. We can not ship, back order the quantity as we talked about. We can not ship, leave the quantity as committed. We can skip this line and go on to the other lines. We can back order this lines and all the remaining lines. If we're at a point that we are done, we can leave the line remaining lines committed. We're going to use our default. It's going to go through, and it's going to prompt each one. So you can see now how that first one, how we did that. We're going to ship the committed on this one. And again, since we're back ordered, we're going to say no. And we're going to ship the committed on this one. And again, because we don't have enough in stock, it's prompting us to create those suggested POs or transfers. We're not going to do that right now. So what we're doing is we're actually going to ship the ones here. And again, we can go in here. We can always double click because we followed those prompts. And this one here, again, we don't have it in stock. We allowed it to back order, but we can just go ahead and ship it. And the same holds true here. Now that back order flag, we're just going to double click on the line. And this one will actually leave back order like that. That way we'll have it. And again, we're asking for our suggested PO. So we'll create a back order, so we don't have it in stock. So what we're going to do here is now is we're going to actually create an invoice for this customer. So we're going to invoice the first 2 items in full, and we're going to invoice the 15, and we're going to have 5 on back order. So again, I'm going to just click Done. You can see here we're prompting the information. If we want to do payments, we can enter this information through here. And again, we can look here. We don't have a deposit on this order, but we could enter payments through here if we wanted. We're going to click OK and go to that. So now when I've done that and I go back in here, so let's go in 001927. Well, you can see it's on back order, so I'm not able to ship it because I already shipped the one I have. So you can see that it's already back. Because it's on back order, I'm going to have to now go release that from back order. I'm going to have to somehow ship it and get my information. And then from there, I'll be able to print it. So you do not see it in the list here. So we can call that order up. Let's cancel that. So we go here into orders. We can do order entry. here we can go in, call up our order. Again, we're going to have to go release the order. So again, we can't, until we release that order at back order, we won't be able to work with that order. So again, that's a little safeguard we have in the system that that's on back order. Until we can receive some of the merchandise, we'll be able to go in and actually ship that. So here is our, again, our order confirmation. So that's how we do it. Now the next step we would do is actually would go to our daily sales register. If once we're okay, we can run our daily sales register, we're able to post those. So what we've created in the order confirmation is the actual invoicing. So if we run our daily sales register, and again, we're looking at our date. Here we're doing is we're looking at our system date here. You can see that our current period and GL period is 2010, so I'm just going to put in here my date. Just let me know it's not the system date, but it's the proper date for here. And again, I'm going to look here. I'm going to click OK. And again, I'm going to look at my documents. So you can see here how I have my documents with a deposit. 926 had that deposit. Okay, I need just to balance my register because we took the $1,000 deposit. Okay, we're going to look at our registers recap here. And we have all our information. So we have the one that has the actual deposits and all our information. You can see here the daily recap. We can go ahead and print. And again, we're looking at what we're doing here. And here we can say yes to update. That's how we do it. So let's recap what we've gone over today. We've gone over the order confirmation process within the FACTS software. Again, order confirmation allows us to take existing sales orders and basically confirm them or turn them into invoices. This process allows us to go in and select those orders through our order confirmation. It allows us to determine how we want to handle the items that are on back order and committed. So again, it allows us to choose and select our items. Let's take this one here, 1925. And again, it's going to bring all the information over that we've already entered on the order. It allows us to, again, bring all the information as it is, assume all shipment of committed quantity, so we can basically ship everything, back order everything, or select how we want to handle it as we go through the process. In this case here, you can see that we brought it in shipped. You can see where this actually came from, the quote. Again, we have information here that we can actually enter payments, look at our payments. If we want to stop the confirmation, we can stop the confirmation. And again, we have some options. Basically, we can leave what we've committed or just restore the original document. So if we realize we got the wrong document, we can go ahead and do that. Or we can just call it back up. And we just continue on. We have everything here. Again, like all our documents in FACTS, we have the header information that we can look detailed information about this particular customer, reference numbers, invoice dates, shipping, and information related to the customer, as well as the different types of codes for the particular customer. We can highlight the line and do the same with the line detail. Again, we can look at more information about this item, pricing, and so on. And when we're ready, all we do is just go ahead. At this point, we're done. We're just going to click Done. We're going to actually create this invoice. Because we're creating the invoice, we have the option of paying it now. So we can go ahead and pay it now. We're just going to go ahead and click OK. And if we want, we can print the invoice now. And again, we're creating our notes for our relationship management, so we're tracking what's going on. And we're just going to go to the notepad. And again, we're going to print. So we're going to print our invoice here at 1930. Again, all the information we have. So now we've taken that sales order and we've actually turned it into an invoice. And that's the order confirmation in Infor FACTS 7.7. As we said, this webinar is being recorded. It'll be available on our website. You can visit us at www.michellgroup.com to view this, plus our others in our webinar series. And once again, we thank you for your time.